Hello everybody, Storm here. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Online. In the last episode, we chased down the white-robed Ascian and had some conversation with him. He tested us and we cleared his tests, so we'll see what comes of that. Then the Scions have officially moved into Revenant's Toll at the Rising Stones, a much more spacious accommodation than the Waking Sands was. And then we began investigating a spate of crystal robberies in the Thanalan region, which we ended up attributing to some traders in the ranks of the Brass Blades, as well as some Leminson pirate gangs. We're stealing crystals for some reason. For what, we don't exactly know yet. So we'll see how that goes. But for now, we are on our way back to the Waking Sands, which is where we're at right now, because Alphino wants some help with something, and it may have to do with the masked individual who arrived in Vesper Bay during one of the cutscenes that we saw last episode. So let's go ahead and head back into the Waking Sands and see what's up. Alright, where is Alphino? Is he even on this map? No, I did not need to go in here. I probably should have looked at the map first. There he is, okay. He's down here, okay. Alright, what's up? You are late. No matter, I know where our visitors are headed. From what I have been able to gather, this vessel belongs to a band of Domans who seek an audience with the Sultana. You're familiar with Doma, yes? In Authored? I think I would be familiar with Doma in Authored, considering that my character is Al-Ra, and that is where she originates from. So, yes. Well, like the rest of the nations of the Eastern Continent, it is ruled by the Garlean Empire. Given our visitors' unannounced arrival, as well as the state of their ship, I suspect they did not leave their homeland under the best circumstances. Needless to say, I should be very interested to hear their tale, and more importantly, what they know of the current state of affairs in the Empire. Such information could prove most useful. We would be fools not to pursue this opportunity, do you not think? Come with me to Ul'dah Ayame. Unless I am mistaken, and I am rarely mistaken, we will find the Domans bickering with a Sultan's sword on the Royal Promenade. You are uncertain of your role in the proceedings? Insurance. If our guests are not themselves Imperial agents, it seems fair to assume that they may be being pursued by some. And if not, who better than you to have on hand in the event of an unforeseen diplomatic incident? Besides, I do so enjoy your sparkling repartee. Satisfied? Good. I shall see you in Ul'dah. Another joke about the fact that our character is a silent protagonist. Alright, so let's go ahead and head into Ul'dah and head up to the promenade. And actually, I think I'm going to register this as a favorite destination. Yep, there we go. And then we're going to Aethernet to the Sapphire... No. The Chamber of Rule. Yes, Chamber of Rule, I think. Which should be on the promenade. Indeed it is. Okay. So... we are. It matters not how many times you ask. Without the necessary permissions, none shall pass. Pray understand, good sir, we have not the leisure to lodge a formal petition. Time is of the essence. All I ask is that you summon your superior. Allow me to plead my case. Surely you can grant us that small kindness. Away with you, and darken these doors no longer. I will not ask again. You know not what you do. I gather your pleas fell upon deaf ears. A loyal man with a cold heart. I know his kind well. I hope that you will find me more to your liking. Alphino Leverrier. That's how you say that. At your service. A friend. Which I believe makes me very nearly unique, in this part of the world at least. Few indeed are your allies in Ul'dah, yet you will need some if you wish to endear yourselves to the wealthy and powerful. Pray join me and my associate at the Quicksand. There you may explain your situation to us, and we shall see if there is aught we can do to help. Alright, so, to this Quicksand, which is the Adventurers Guild. I think we're going to take the easy way down. Ah yes, the summer event, the Moonfire Fair, has begun. We might be doing an episode about that in the next couple of episodes. I'll have to see. I think the last seasonal event I actually did for the series was Little Ladies' Day. There's been a couple in between, which I didn't get around to doing. Oh, I probably could have gone a different way. That's alright. But we might be in a good spot. We'll have to see how things play out. Alright, Elfino.
We have traveled some several thousand miles across the sea, from the nation of Doma, in hopes that we might find sanctuary in these lands.
Sanctuary, Lady Yugiri?
Aye. Lying within Othard, Doma was under the dominion of the Garlean Empire, as I'm sure you are aware. When the War of Succession broke out in Garlemald, we espied an opportunity to free ourselves from the yoke of imperial oppression and took up arms. Only to be crushed. And so I gathered what few Domans escaped the reckoning and guided them hither to your shores.
A War of Succession? Then the Emperor... Forgive me. You said that Doma was under Imperial rule, did you not?
Doma is gone. Razed to the ground as an example to the other provinces.
12 have mercy. And your people?
On a ship anchored in Vesper Bay, flying borrowed colors. Many were complicit in the rebellion, or akin to those who were. They will not come ashore until I send word that it is safe to do so. I sought an audience with your rulers, but was summarily refused.
The lords of Ul'dah are not wont to entertain foreign refugees without suitable encouragement.
Mayhap I was foolish to expect otherwise. But our supplies run low and we have young ones in urgent need of care. I have seen the tents outside the gates, however. We are not the first to seek asylum, nor will we be the last.
Be that as it may, Ul'dah is no friend to Garlemald. Your tale would stir the hearts of many men and women here. The Sultana and the Syndicate will not be so easily swayed. But I shall see that you are granted an opportunity to plead your case.
This is within your power?
Well, far be it from me to boast, but I do have the ear of certain influential individuals.
I am in your debt.
Lady Yugiri, forgive me for observing, but your choice of attire seems like to evoke feelings of mistrust.
Men are wont to fear the unfamiliar. We know this from experience. We seek only to spare the people of Uldar unnecessary disquiet.
I shall defer to your experience, then.
I thank you for your understanding.
It seems I have urgent business with the Flame General. I leave our guests in your capable hands.
All right. So that's interesting news that Doma has been destroyed. So I don't think we'll actually have anything where we can talk about that, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and talk to Yugiri and see what she has to say. If I may, madam, as I said earlier, we have been at sea for several moons, and our supplies are all but spent. I have not the heart to repeat the tales of our tribulations, nor would it please you to listen to them, I think. Suffice it to say, however, sacrifices have been made. Though it shames me to beg for more than you have already offered so much, desperation compels me, good madam. If your associates could spare any provisions, anything at all, it would go a long way to lessen the suffering of my people. Alright, let's have a chat with Momodi and see what we can do about that. Hells, why didn't you say so sooner, Yame? Of course I'll help. You couldn't have picked a better day, to tell the truth. A wealthy merchant and his entourage were due to have a banquet here on the morrow. See, but he just sent word that they can't come. Meaning they got a boatload of foodstuffs and no one to feed. Best of all, they paid for the lot in advance. Haha! Go and call on Fridure and Catherine at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Tell them I said to ship the little prince's order to the Wakened Sands. Oh, and if they argue, just show them those letters. That should set them straight. Alright, Sapphire Avenue Exchange, which is over this way. And there's Fredura. She's in the business of feeding refugees now? I ain't normally one to question Mistress Momodi's judgment, but that doesn't seem wise to me. Well, here we go. I'll not speak for the children, but if you ask me, any man who can't earn a crust deserves to go hungry. Alright, and Catherine? Why, that's a rather odd request. Mayhap you misheard her instructions? No, I did not. There you go. You know, you shouldn't encourage them like this. They'll start to expect it. You mark my words. Alright. Alright, Momodi. They didn't give you any trouble, did they? Good. Now go and tell Lady Yugiri it's all in hand. Alright, let's go give her the good news. I dared not hope for such magnanimity. Much less expect it. Mistress Momodi is generous indeed. I shall be sure to thank her most humbly. Lady Yugiri, I briefed the Flame General on your situation. I think you'll be pleased with his reply. We've been granted an audience. Before the Sultana and the Syndicate both, we should return to the Royal Promenade at once. You have done much for us, Master Alphino. I swear we shall return the favor. Naught is owed, Lady Yugiri, for naught has been given. This small favor you fairly won with your words, and it is with words that you must win the favor of the Syndicate. Then I shall choose them with care. You'll be accompanying us, yes? Good. Your presence may serve to remind the Syndicate of the true meaning of philanthropy, and that nothing so unpalatable will be required of them, assuming the Domans are willing to earn their keep. Come, the Flame General awaits us on the Royal Promenade. Alright, so let's head back outside and teleport ourselves back over to the Chamber of Rule. Alright, there's Ralbon. A pleasure, Ayame. The others are already inside. Let's not keep them waiting.
I, Yugiri of Doma, am honored to meet you at last, Your Grace. To mark this auspicious occasion, I should like to present to you the finest treasures our humble nation has to offer. Alas, the circumstances which have brought me here today have divested me of both time and dignity. I come before you as a pauper in direst need of aid, to request that you grant my people asylum.
I, Nanamo, 17th in the line of Ul, welcome you to our city. Be at ease, Lady Yugiri. Although I myself have heard the tale of your misfortune, I would ask that you recount it once more for the benefit of the others here present.
As you wish, Your Grace. For many years, my nation, Doma, suffered under the yoke of imperial rule, and my people yearned to be free. Thus, when a war of succession broke out in Garlemald, we sought to take advantage of the chaos and reclaim our liberty. Alas, our enemy proved less preoccupied than we had hoped, and our rebellion was put down in the most brutal fashion.
Those who survived, how many do they number?
More than 200 souls huddle within the cramped confines of our own galleon's hold. Yet this figure accounts for but one of a number of ships which escaped the Purge. It is my hope that you will allow us all to dwell within your walls. Should that prove unfeasible, however, I humbly ask that you accept as many of my people as your resources allow. Pray understand, we do not beg a boon, but propose instead an arrangement. We would serve as soldiers or tradesmen until our debt is repaid.
What are the Syndicate's opinions on this matter?
I, for one, think it's a marvelous idea. Lady Yugiri and her people strike me as an industrious lot, and there are parts of the city which have yet to be fully restored. If they are willing to work, I see no reason not to let them.
The head of the Mirage Trust is not known for his generosity. He sees profit in this.
I agree. That said, these are foreign refugees. To admit them would require a formal resolution. Shall we call a vote?
The law is the law.
Lord Lolorito?
Tell me, are you blind or willfully ignorant? Even now, our streets are choked with the displaced victims of the Calamity and Alamigan refugees. They live hand to mouth, subsisting on aid provided by the immortal flames, the cost of which grows ever higher. The wealth of Ul'dah is not without limits, my friends. And need I remind you that these refugees are prone to violence and criminal activity? You have all read the reports, I think. Without homes or employment, it is only a matter of time before men grow desperate and take that which they imagine has been unjustly denied them. Yet, knowing this, you would have us swell their ranks. Mayhap you think the brass blades and the flames are not hard-pressed enough?
Some say the chairman of the East Aldenard Trading Company passes Gil thrice daily. This may explain how he came to be the wealthiest man in Ul'dah. Or it may simply be that he's ruthless beyond reckoning.
Surely the Sultanate can support the few hundred domins Lady Yugiri represents. That our resources have been taxed, I do not deny. But we are hardly in danger of financial collapse. I move that an exception be made.
An exception, Your Grace? I am suddenly reminded of a similar debate some years ago regarding a number of Alamigan refugees, if memory serves. What were your words that day? Yes, the law is the law. And so our visitors remained in Little Alamigo. Mayhap our wise and benevolent Sultana would be so good as to enlighten us as to which other of our laws should not be upheld.
Mind your tongue, Lolorito.
My lord, I share your concern for the welfare of our great nation, but we must endeavor to take a longer view. You know as well as I that people can be a resource still more precious than Gil.
Precious or not, they were never yet so reliable. And unlike those who frequent your establishment, I have no desire to gamble with my future. Ul'dah's greatest asset is, and has ever been, her material wealth. We risk this at our peril. One need only look to Teleji Adeleji's example for evidence of the danger in allowing sentiment to dictate policy. How far the vaunted Mirage hath fallen, both in repute and profitability, since he began employing refugees.
How I choose to conduct my affairs is not your concern, my lord.
A proposal has been tabled. Given its urgency, I move we forego further debate and call a vote. To accept the Doman refugees or not. Those in favor, I bid you remain. Those opposed, I bid you leave.
Would that it were within my power to welcome you and your people, Lady Yugiri. As you have observed, however, my authority in such matters is regrettably limited. Without the consent of the Syndicate, I cannot act.
I understand, Your Grace, and I appreciate all that you have done on our behalf.
The nerve of the man! If that bastard had not forsaken the eastern trade route, Little Alamigo would now be thriving. Oh, that you should have traveled so far under such dire circumstances, only to be refused in this manner is utterly unconscionable. Pray, accept my sincerest apologies.
Now that the Empire no longer poses an immediate threat, they see little reason to maintain the pretense of unity. The Monitorists have grown especially defiant of late. Lord Lolorito most of all. But this is neither the time nor place for that discussion.
All right, there we go. So let's see what we get. Lilac purple dye, million corn yellow dye, cork brown dye, or bronze pieces. Maybe I'll take that lilac purple dye. Only 3 of them, though. Alright, so... it looks like Ul'dah will not be accepting more refugees, so let's see what other options we have. Ralbon would like to discuss how to handle the Doman refugees. Okay. As you observed, Lolorito is not afraid to speak his mind, nor has he like to change it. Oft have I wondered how a man so skilled at weighing the worth of things should be so incapable of seeing the value in people. Bah, I will waste no more words on him. Not when the Domans are yet in need of aid. Everyone, follow me to the Hall of Flames. Speak with Ralbon at the Hall of Flames. Which should be this way. Fireworks. Alright, there's Ralbon. The Syndicate has spoken, and I see no point in moving that the matter be reconsidered. The Monitorists have made their position clear. Agreed. Ul'dah is not an option. Nor are Limsa, Laminsa, or Gridania, I judge, given the state of their internal affairs. Which leaves our Doman friends confined to a ship. Gods, the thought of them huddled in an airless hold with no hope of better treatment. Would that I had more time to find an alternative. A place not bound by the concerns of the great nations. Minfilia. That is precisely what I wish to discuss. This is Yugiri. I understand the Syndicate's decision. I do. We all wish to preserve that which is ours, especially when we believe it to be under siege. But I cannot meekly accept this judgment, not while my people suffer. Would it be out of the question for the Sultanate to accept us for a limited time? A week, mayhap, or even just a few days? Excellent. I shall keep you informed. That's Alphino. Lady Yugiri, I have a proposal if you would hear it. Out with it, Master Alphino. The headquarters of my order, the Science of the Seventh Dawn, stands in a place called Revenant's Toll, an outpost in Mordona. Like most outposts, it is frequented by mercenaries and other men of action, and lacks the comforts of a more well-established settlements. However, the leaders of Revenant's Toll have been doing their utmost to change that. To that end, they have need of able-bodied individuals willing to work as frontier hands. Hard labor, lest you doubt, with naught save food and shelter by way of reward. Seem terms not unlike those which you yourself proposed, Lady Yugiri. Though I will not hear a word against our beloved Ul'dah, Revenant's Toll would offer certain advantages, the absence of unhelpful bureaucracy being the most obvious. If they can accommodate us all, we shall gladly accept. Master Alphino, once again I find myself in your debt. Pray do not thank me, my lady. The life your people go to is one of hard labor and few comforts, as I told you. Oh! Accidentally clicked. Mayhap the Uldan Adventurers Guild can be of assistance. Look for me there. Anon, Ayame. Lady Yugiri, if you and your people would accompany me, we may discuss what aid the Immortal Flames can provide. My finger just twitched a little bit and pushed the button. Oh well. Speak with Alphino. Where is he? He's in the Adventurers Guild. Okay. I'm guessing we're going to be doing something about helping them move so many people overland to Mordona, because Mordona is not a coastal port. Or Revenant's Toll is not a coastal port. Alright, Alphino. Alright, we are concerned that the Doman refugees may find the journey to Revenant's Toll too much to bear. As I was saying. Too long have they been sequestered aboard their ship, with insufficient supplies and scarce room enough to breathe, let alone stretch their limbs. With that in mind, Mistress Momody has kindly offered to accommodate the Domans until such time as they are ready to set out for Mordona. Those healthy enough to travel will embark as soon as transportation has been secured, while those too weak to leave at once will be permitted to stay until they regain their strength. What news? Transportation remains our greatest obstacle, General. Is there aught the Immortal Flames can do? I fear that exceeds our mandate. Were it a smaller number, mayhap it would go unnoticed. But the Syndicate will not bear the cost of escorting more than 200 Domans to Mordona. When government fails to act, the responsibility falls to us private citizens. I will engage the services of the 77 caravans on the Doman's behalf. Very well. We should begin contract negotiations at once. Your generosity is most welcome, my lord. After all that has befallen these good people, it is the least I can do. Come what may, you shall ever have a friend in Ulda, Lady Yugiri. And you in Revenant's Toll, my lord. Well, it sounds like we all have work to do. Lady Yugiri, let's put our heads together and settle the details of our arrangement, shall we? Mistress Momody is quite right. There is much to be done, Ayame. I would like to visit Gigion, the 77 caravans representative in Scorpion Crossing, to ensure that everything goes according to plan. Alright, speak with this person at Scorpion Crossing, which is way over here, which is... Actually, probably is going to be closer just to head straight outside the city. This is the Gate of the Sultana. Alright, Aethernet to the Gate of the Sultana. And this is Scorpion Crossing. And there is Gigigun there. Welcome, madam, welcome. May I say what an honor and a privilege it is to serve you. Our finest carriages have been set aside for your use, and each will be driven by a highly experienced coachman, save, for one. Beg pardon, why not all of them? Well, there was an incident, you see. Nothing bad, I hasten to add, and I had no choice but to discipline the fellow responsible. Alas, he proved unduly discouraged by this, and elected to leave our employ. A pity, really. He was so familiar with the route in question. Why, under different circumstances, 'tis very like I would have chosen him to oversee this very caravan. A thought occurs to me. You are an accomplished adventurer, are you not? Then mayhap you could go to the Coffer and Coffin and persuade the fellow in question to return. Needless to say, noble madam, I would never suggest such a thing were it not in your best interest. It is just that a venture of such import would seem to me to demand the very best. Would you not agree? Very well. Speak with the hire and coachman at the Coffer and Coffin, which is over here near Blackbrush Station. Quick teleport away. Mount up. Alright, hire and coachman. Lead your van. Bugger off. My driving days are done. Gideon saw to that. Wouldn't listen when I tried to tell him what happened. Reported the blades, he says. 'Twas the God's damn blades what took me stuff in the first place. To him, it's all excuses and whining, of course. Tells me I've got to pay for the missing goods out of my own bleeding pocket. The nerve of that bastard. 'Tweren't only his stuff that got robbed. He even took me ring, and I wasn't gonna give that to my lass, you know? But does he give two shites about me and what I lost? Does he, bollocks? Reassure the hired coachman with a wordless leave it to /me. Yeah? You mean to say you'll take care of it? Get the stuff back and everything? Praise the 12, things are finally starting to look up. I hear tell the Horsons take it all to somewhere in Nofika's wells. Shouldn't be too hard to find. It ain't like they've got to hide their doings, being blades and all. But you'd best be careful, miss. They ain't like to return what they took just 'cause you asked polite. Search for the brass blades in Nofika's wells. Which is back over here. At the horizon. Alright, head south out of the outpost, and it's gonna be down in the gorge, it looks like. Easiest way down is to just jump off, but it is a long way down to the bottom. Not really that long. Let's see here. Where are these brass blades? Probably over here. There they are. Let my health recover a little bit. Hello. I don't like your face, missy. Makes me want to do things to it. And I reckon my mates feel the same way. Ain't that right, lads? Oh, really? You want to do this? stunned me. And there's the cap. Okay. Are you interested in talking now? I yield. It's all yours. Just don't hurt me, please. Here we go. Return the stolen items to the hired coachman at the coffer and coffin. Okay. I'm not worried about the fate. Okay. Eh? Oh, it's you. Any luck finding them blades what robbed me? Yes, I did. 12, bless you, miss. Now I can settle my accounts with Gigiron. Or Gigion. I'll make me way to Scorpion Crossing straight away. Looking forward to working with you. Alright, back to Scorpion Crossing. Alright, back to Scorpion Crossing. It's a little bit of a ride from here. Not worried about the fate. Alright. Gigion took care of the problem. Alright, the woman of the hour. I hoped you might persuade him to return, but to go so far as to recover the stolen shipment, I must say that was a welcome surprise. Pray inform Master Alphino that our preparations are complete, and we await his orders. Alright, back to the quicksand to speak with Alphino. I think no problem, we just ride back into town. Find the nearest Aethernet node and teleport over there. Nearest Aethernet node is probably going to be down here. And we want to go to the Adventurers Guild. There we are. And there is Alphino. No further delays, I trust? Excellent. I should leave more tasks in your capable hands. On which note, the Hourglass is now ready to receive the Domans, which means our next order of business is to ensure their safe passage to Ul'dah. Alright, I'll take those silver pieces. Next quest. As we speak, the Domans are being ferried to Vesper Bay, after which they will be transported by carriage to Ul'dah. Oh. I did it again. Alright. Well, Yami would have you return to Vesper Bay and facilitate the process through tasks great and small. In short, whatever must needs be done, do it. Speak with Hosen when you arrive. He has been designated the leader of the first group. Okay, well, I don't think we really missed much in that one dialogue box. I accidentally double-clicked through. Okay. I think we're probably at the end of this episode here. And we're heading to Vesper Bay to assist in tasks great and small to help the Domans make it to Ul'dah. So, we will work on that next episode. So, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.